Well, the arrival of Ferdinand Marcos may have gone off smoothly for the island's military, but it was marred by an almost total news blackout for the local and visiting international media here on island. With some thoughts about that blackout now is Cable News Director John Morvant.
The following is a Guam Cable TV editorial comment. Speaking on behalf of Guam Cable TV is News Director John Morvant.
Thank goodness we're not at war, and thank goodness the two airplanes that brought former Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos to Guam yesterday were U.S. transports and not enemy bombers. Thank goodness, because those two airplanes, all by themselves, caused a mental and bureaucratic gridlock that paralyzed our military might all the way from the Pentagon to Andersen Air Force Base. A gridlock so paralyzing that the Pentagon seemed unable to change its own orders. But maybe that's not fair. Maybe they could have changed orders. Maybe they're just so arrogant they feel they can ignore the requests of a U.S. congressman, the certified members of Guam's media, and ultimately the requests of the U.S. public to have a free and open government. A government where the military answers to the civilian population and not the other way around. Simply put, one of the most important people in the world came to Guam this week, and you, the public, were kept in the dark because the media were not allowed onto Andersen Air Force Base to cover the top news story in the world this week. The media were told they could get on the base for Marcos's arrival, then hours later told that they might be able to get on the base, then several hours after that told they could not get on the base. For Marcos's departure, the intervention of Congressman Ben Blas and pressure from Guam's media finally resulted in permission to enter the base. When the media arrived at the Andersen front gate last night, they were told there was a change in plans. Then there was a delay that lasted hours. Finally, military officials had some news after all. The former president had left 10 minutes ago. Oh, they tried to help. Andersen officials shot the arrival at about 10:30 in the morning and made the tape available to the media at 4 in the afternoon. They filmed the 11:55 departure last night and made that tape available at 1:30 this morning. All of this in stark contrast to the live national coverage that Mr. Marcos received in Hawaii just this morning. The reasons given for the news blackout on Guam were simple: threatening telephone calls and bomb threats. Well, the response to that foolishness is equally simple. Were that a valid complaint, the president would never leave the White House, the Pope never leave the Vatican. In the end, one wonders, after all, if anyone knew just what was going on. The military seems very good at getting out the word on their military person of the quarter and their lawn of the month. But when it comes to interpreting current events and the dissemination of hard news, they seem to be forever stuck in neutral. Thank goodness we're not at war, and they were our planes this time.
This has been a Guam Cable TV editorial comment. Speaking on behalf of Guam Cable TV has been Cable News Director John Morvant. Responsible rebuttals are welcome.